great honor at this time to introduce Carson Smith, our class president and valedictorian.
Good afternoon. Just kidding, I need to find something on my phone. My mom actually just texted me and I want to read this out loud, but it says, she's going to kill me later for this. Good luck with your speech, you'll do great. You've always been my favorite. Don't tell your brothers. So I'm going to have to come up and come clean for a minute. I have no idea what I'm supposed to say at something like this. I've never been commenced before. And it's something I know nothing about. I don't know anything about what happens after Flushing High School. It becomes really scary, really quick. But I do know that you have to leave Flushing High School to understand it. For some of us, our education ends here. This is the commencement, the final beginning. And for others, including myself, we get the privilege of paying for more classes. A long time ago, something happened that nearly prevented me from being here. It's not something I normally talk about, and very few people know about it. Sam Barry and I were at the Potter Park Zoo in Lansing on a field trip, when a vicious peacock jumped the fence. And for one moment, it was beautiful and regal and exotic, and I hadn't ever seen anything like it before. And it watched us intensely like it had something to say. And then it began to screech as it chased Sam Barry into a nearby reptile house. You have to leave Flushing High School to understand it. But first you have to sit here quietly and wait until every single name is called. You have to walk back through the lobby of the Whiting Auditorium and cry with your best friends. Because although you'll see each other again this evening, although you're glad that it's finally over, you still feel like crying, like something's been lost. You have to leave Flushing High School to understand it. We are in a very fragile place right now. We are balancing on the edge of our chairs, about to fall into adulthood. And it's horrifying to think that all the work that we've done, all the connections we've made, all the time we've spent here, it just disappears after one summer. Our nice and neat lives are replaced by uncertainty and strange new responsibilities. Now, although we can leave Flushing behind, the lessons we shared will stay with us. The philosophy of Flushing will remain in us. As every person walks across the stage, examine them closely, because every single one of you has given me an amazing gift. Chris Gager taught us not to live life in large torrents, but to take on tasks bit by bit. Jessica Crampy taught us how to be enthusiastic in what you love because you love it. Rebecca Kuya reminds us to be cheerful and kind. Joe Najar reminds us to laugh and joke, even after a difficult test. Madeline Woodkeep reminds us to be helpful, to do our part. And it will be a miracle that Sam Barry is receiving his diploma today. Because it's a miracle that Peacock spared his life. Now, despite unusual circumstances, despite vicious birds of prey, we'll make it in the end. I've never doubted that. This is just part of the small-town lessons we've been able to learn, and it's our most valuable asset facing the wider world. My brothers and I, when we come to school every morning, we take Terrace Hill down towards Main Street, and for a moment, whatever store's playing on the radio, and whatever Harrison's doing in the back seat, things just go... Oh, okay. Things just go... But something just goes silent for a minute, despite all the other distractions. And I look over to my right and I see the sunrise come up over the old buildings as it breathes life into the mighty Flint River. The orange sunrise creates these black silhouettes against the sky's edge. I I hadn't thought very much about these ordinary moments until recently. I now see that same orange and black at football games and pep assemblies, on cross-country jerseys and the marching band uniforms. I see those colors when I hear our fight song. We're wearing those colors right now. These colors, the orange and black, remind us of that new day. Now this fall, we will wake up in beds that we have yet to see. We will be dressed in new clothes and carrying new bags as we drag ourselves to our early morning introduction to political science class. And before we close the old doors behind us, we'll catch a glimpse of that sunrise. At Michigan State University, at Mott Community College, at Harding University, at the University of Michigan, look to the east, and you'll find Flushing. This may feel like goodbye, but we can't be separated. I'll see you all again. Thank you.